School, please be seated.
Thank you, Mrs. Ringle. Outstanding. We should really appreciate the hard work and dedication that goes into each and every one of those practices. Once again, welcome to this Prefect-led Assembly for Friday, 29 July, Week 1, Term 3. The agenda for today's Assembly is as follows. A talk from one of our extraordinary senior prefects, Leah Wick, on knowledge. We will then look to move to a space in which we can have a students against staff quiz. It is critically important that we listen attentively to this, because when we stop to listen, we learn. To that end, I'd like to now hand over to Leah. Thank you, Leah.
So with benchmarks and house quiz coming up, as a prefect body, we decided that we wanted to theme this assembly around knowledge. So the dictionary states knowledge as facts, information, and skills acquired through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. Now, you might be sitting here thinking that knowledge in general is just not your thing and that you wouldn't consider yourself smart enough to be so-called knowledgeable. But nowhere in the definition of knowledge did it say that you had to be what some people would consider smart. The truth is that everyone has their strengths just as everyone has their weaknesses. Whether your strengths are in sporting, culture, academics, or anything else, the knowledge that you have around this is equally as important as the knowledge that it will take our contestants to win the Staff vs Students quiz today. Since house quiz is not done in front of the school, we thought that we'd bring our recreation of the school quiz to you. Much like the questions in the quiz, in the upcoming benchmarks, you will encounter easy questions, hard questions, questions you haven't prepared for, and questions you swear you've never seen before. But, unlike the contestants in our quiz, you have plenty of time to prepare. People often speak about controlling the controllables. Through putting in solid effort into your studies over the next 6 weeks, preparing yourself for what is to come in your exams, it will make the stress and uncertainty of the benchmark exams so much more attainable. If you know it's coming up, that's in your control. And without further ado, I'd like to invite Sam White up to help with the quiz.
Right, let's start off our quiz by inviting our two teams up. You know who you are. And as they come up, I'll just do a brief introduction of each of our competitors. So let's begin by meeting our student team. Starting centre for the mighty First 15, and most importantly, absolute asset to the Year 13 construction class, AJ Thomas, really does bring the sting in the class and on the grass. AJ? Kendall Cowley is a well-known high-performance athlete coming from Cambridge High as a ripe Year 12 student. With her fast thinking on the spot alongside her vast sporting knowledge, she will for sure be a critical part of the student team. Next up, we have Desi the Fireball Desmond. A pro street fighter and recent singles long bowls king, reigning from the mighty Sargard House, his knowledge and wisdom will no doubt carry this team. Te Kaya Prefect and Head of Fitchett House, Gia King has the leadership skills to be an outstanding prefect if she spent less time with former Deputy Head Boy Fraser Tam and more time at school. Poppy Collins is our next competitor. Leader of the mighty Williams House and proud member of the girls' second 11 hockey team, Poppy is a well-known retired sprinter and loves a good quiz to start off her morning. Finally, well known for lighting many things on fire at Tihui and his recent retirement from the SPC cricket team, Kyle Kluskins is a well-known bullhog who can often be found in a field and most of the time never fails to crack a good joke. Competing on behalf of the St. Paul staff, we have a brave and courageous team lined up. Introducing Mrs. Cantlin, Miss Sholem, Mr. Stewart, Mrs. Watson, and Mr. Skeen. Round of applause for both of our teams. Tyler's going. Okay, I'm doing this when you tell me. Pass the microphone.
So these teams will be battling it out this morning for you, showcasing all of their niche knowledge and experience around our array of topics. Our categories today include St Paul's, sport, music, general knowledge, New Zealand, geography, and cheese. We would now like each team to select a topic that they will have double points on while we explain how the game works.
Staff, what is your
So how this
double
quiz
topic?
will work is that we have 2 questions for all of our 8 topics. We will begin by asking the staff team one of their question, and then if they answer correctly, they earn a point. But if they don't answer within the 15-second time limit, then the question gets passed on to the student team to answer, and vice versa. So we will now find out what each team has decided they will have double points for.
Geography, thank you.
So the staff team have geography. Sport.
Okay. Okay, do we have any questions before we start from any of the teams? No? Okay, perfect. Let's start with our first category. Okay, the first category is St Paul's. This one's for the teachers. Who was the 12th Reverend of St Paul's?
Peter Rickman.
That's correct. Okay.
And for the students, how many houses are there?
Seven.
7 is correct. 7, 8, or 9. Okay. Okay, moving on to our next category, which is sport. Okay, we'll start with the teacher's question. The sport bossa ball is a sport which is a mix of soccer, volleyball, and which other sport? Bossa ball. Bossa ball. Okay, need an answer. That is incorrect. We'll pass the question over to our trustee students team. Yeah.
I'm just going to take a wild swing here and say gymnastics.
That is correct. Okay.
And for the students' question around sport, how many players start for our first 15?
$15.
That is correct.
We're going to skip this one. You said to go quicker.
Okay, we'll skip music and we'll go straight to general knowledge. Okay, teachers, how many breeds of elephant are there? Breeds of elephant. Can you just hold the mic and pass it over to the show? The music isn't so good. Should I skip?
No, cheese. We'll just do this one. We'll do this one. And this one. This one.
Okay, need an answer.
2.
That is incorrect. Pass over to the students thing.
3.
3 is correct. Okay, students' general knowledge question. What does a thermometer measure?
Heat.
I'll accept that one. It's temperature, but yeah, heat. Yeah, perfect. That's a point. Okay. Moving on to our next category. We're going to... Oh no. Okay, yeah. We're going to skip the science category and go straight to New Zealand. Teachers. How many episodes of Shortland Street have there been? Okay, we need an answer.
2,500.
That is incorrect. Students?
I'll take a stab in the dark, 2,844.
That is correct. Okay, students' question for New Zealand. What is the capital city of New Zealand?
Wellington.
Wellington is correct. Okay. Okay. Moving on to geography, our teachers' double points category. Teachers, what is the name or location of the world's deepest lake? Deepest lake. Right, need an answer.
Is it like Belfry in Russia?
That is correct. I did not think that they would get that. Say what the answer was. The answer was Lake Baikal in Russia. Anyway, students, what is the highest mountain in the world?
Everest.
Sorry?
Everest.
That is correct. Okay. Okay. Moving on to our final category, which is cheese. Teachers, your question is, what century did the cheese brie get discovered? What century did the cheese brie get discovered? Which century? We need an answer. 16th century is correct. Okay, students, what is your favourite type of cheese?
Feet.
That is correct. Okay. Thank you so much to our participants today. You guys can head back to your seats if you'd like. But we'll now invite our score counter, Max, to reveal the final official score.
Okay, so on 4 points we had teachers and students had 10 points. So students won. We'd now like to hand over to Mr. Skeen to close up the assembly. So thank you for a productive week of school so far. Still 6 periods of learning to go. Ngā mihi nui, school stand please.
Thank you, school. Take a seat. Only notice from me is at 12:25 it is a House period, and Mr Emsley will be emailing you a link to a survey, Voice of Rangatahi survey. This has been conducted by New Zealand Sport, and they're just looking to seek input or feedback from students across the country. So if you could please take your devices to House period. It should only take sort of 5-10 minutes. It'll just be the first part of the House period, and then I'm imagining your housemasters, your pastoral staff, will then start talking about Arts Day, which is next week, and all other events coming up, which includes the House quiz that they talked about. That House quiz, written by Dr McGrath, is actually one of, I think, the highlights of the calendar in terms of the House sporting event, but it's actually something that's quite small in numbers watching. So if you're part of the team, good luck. If you're not part of the team and you actually are available, I think it's Tuesday of week 3, then please come along and support and cheer on your peers who are representing your house. Monday is number ones. I know there were a few that turned up in greys on Tuesday this week. Remember, start of week is always number ones. And then the Friday for boarders going home, Friday Arts Day is a mufti day. We're not collecting money for it. It's not a fundraising activity, so you should be in house associated colours. It's about representing your house of pride. If something like Arts Day is beyond your natural comfort zone, if you're not artistically inclined or strong in that space, that doesn't mean that this is a day that you become disengaged or you not involve yourself. The whole holistic part of the school is about involving yourself in all aspects, whether it's in your comfort zone or outside. It's actually a really fun day, and as I said before, with the quiz, it is actually one of the highlights. Mr Cameron, Mrs Price, and all those in the arts area have put in a massive amount of work into making this a fun day. So, yeah, go on with a real positive attitude and always give your best with a bit of house pride and spirit. If I could ask the